Hi, this is Dr. Fab Mancini, and I'm so excited because I have a legend in chiropractic. Dr. Jeffrey States, an individual that I've known for so many years. His father and I were very close. Jeffrey, it's so great to have you in this interview that I wanted to do with you.
Thank you, Fab. It's great to see you once again. We met last in Jay Shetland's program in March, and you lectured as the keynote, and I had the opportunity to speak right after you, and that was an honor of my lifetime. Thank you, Fab.
Oh, thank you, brother. Well, one of the things that I'm excited about is the fact that we know that whiplash injuries are still one of the main reasons why individuals come to see a chiropractor. But we also know that still the majority of the chiropractors are doing personal injury cases. But what we're finding a lot of times is some of them are struggling, getting reimbursed properly, or maybe giving the attorneys what they properly need. One of the things that I love is that you've actually created a certification process, a way to teach me as a chiropractor what are the things that I need to really have as my tools, as my awareness, my knowledge to better take care of these patients clinically more than anything. So tell me a little bit about, Jeffrey, what was your journey in developing this certification, and why is it that we as chiropractors should consider being certified when it comes to this type of cases?
Well, that's a lot of questions, so let me be brief as much as I can. The certification process started by doctors always calling me for answers because I became the PI guy in my state, and I was young and very creative in what I had done and had a reputation for doing a number of things, including suing an insurance company for not paying the PIP claim. And that went through a 3-day trial, and it was quite interesting. I'll spare you the details. But I started having doctors over at my office after hours, and having, as someone just reminded me at a conference, we had cookies and Dr. States. And I started sharing some of my ideas to help them to be better. And then all of a sudden, it outgrew my office, and then it turned into a live seminar business. Doctors needed help going from the day-to-day events on what they need to do. We're trained as doctors, but we're not trained as personal injury doctors and what needs to be done that's specific to personal injury. And so the lectures developed over time, then it became into a certification. And the great news now is it's called Motor Vehicle Collision Occupant Injury Certification. So it's not just whiplash, which is a very important part of personal injury, but chiropractors around the world can be a key player in personal injury cases, and we teach how to raise that bar so that doctors can be the person that puts the case together and be the key to help these cases win. Because we're about not chasing ambulances, we're about helping great doctors do a better job raising that bar again so that the patient can have the most successful outcome. And doctors have a role as a piece of this puzzle. And so I'm happy to be a part of that. And this is something that Jay has added to his program, is having me be the certification program, or Personal Injury Training Institute, the program that certifies and qualifies these doctors to have a higher level of quality.
Well, one of the things that I was so impressed last year is, first of all, I'm a big fan of yours. I love your lectures. You are just so well known in the profession for the effectiveness that you have in teaching. But I was watching, mesmerized by how the audience was so connected with you. And because they go to programs like this, and the Personal Injury Summit that is coming up next year, 2019, is going to be on March 15th through the 17th. Right there in Salt Lake City, again, Utah, beautiful, beautiful part of the world. And one of the things that I'm excited about is that you're going to be coming to train them again, train us all to be able to have the information that we need to have. Because what I find is that the reason that so many of us may not be as successful in personal injury cases is just we don't know what we don't know. And a lot of times we are assuming things. A lot of times we are, doing things just feeling from the little knowledge that we got maybe through a seminar that we attended. We know that at schools, we don't have the time to be teaching so much on the personal injury component So especially because the national boards don't test us on it. So it's not like a requirement as a graduate chiropractor. So these are the kind of things that we need to pick up. But what I have found is so many chiropractors do personal injury, but they don't get the training to be able to have the confidence, to be able to have the results that will allow them to grow their practices even more. So what are some of the things that you're going to be really sharing with us at this conference, March 15th through the 17th in Salt Lake, the Personal Injury Summit? Because if I'm thinking right now that, hey, I want to get certified, I want to learn from Dr. Jeffrey States, you know, a legend in the profession, what is it that I can expect receiving by sitting in your class in on March 17th? I mean,
Well,
15th, 17th.
in March of 2019. I'm excited to be there. I will be there, and I will be helping doctors individually and whatever Dr. Shetland asks me to do to help him. I've had so many opportunities to speak for Dr. Shetland's group, the Whiplash group, and they're amazing. And the doctors are hungry for great information. And I'm working on a lecture right now. I taught a part of it a couple of weeks ago for Dr. Shetland with the doctors. I think they were meeting in Salt Lake. And I talk about the difference between being a PI novice to a PI expert and the stages in between. And so many doctors don't know that they don't know. And then if they get slapped around a little bit by the insurance company or their attorneys, then they know that they don't know, but they don't know what to do about it. And that was exactly where my company was brought into. We have so many greats in our profession teaching different things about personal injury, but nobody has been teaching what you need to do day by day, why you do it day by day, how to get paid for it. And we teach not only from the first phone call, but all the way through the case resolution, whether it ends up in deposition or trial. And these doctors have no need to fear because we teach you all of those steps, what to do, how the insurance company will try to take advantage of you and or your patient, how to preemptive strike many of those things by excellent report writing, only taking a few minutes to write a superb report that puts it all together. And so that's what I like about the Whiplash group is the caliber, the quality that's there. And Dr. Shetland puts this summit together with some of the best high caliber people in the world. And my job is to teach doctors what to do day by day. And when they get great information, like Dan Murphy speaking, and he has good information, that can fit right into the practice because the building is built or the ship is built, and we add what we need to become better and better as our PI expertise improves.
Well, one of the things that I notice also is that the information is also beneficial to help you in every aspect of your practice. Because I think what you've done very wise is the fact that you are condensing information of what is it that the expectations are of our behaviors as chiropractic providers. Many times, you know, when we get out of school and we've been in practice, you notice that a lot of the doctors, we all love the adjusting component of it. We all want to put our hands on patients, and we understand the value that that has. The challenge is that many times we're dealing with not only cash patients that can be very demanding, but insurance third-party patients, Medicare patients, third-party work comp, and especially PIP. A lot of times, you know, we don't think that, we think that PIP is just a given, you know, it's just going to be sent to us. But the reality of it is that we must treat, no matter who the payer is, with the highest integrity, not only in our documentation, but also in the way that we service that patient. And also, you know, Jeffrey, maybe you can talk a little bit about this, is backing up what you say in your notes with the proper information and the proper documentation. And that's something that you do very well with your certification. Why is that so important in today's time?
Well, that's critical because everything we do is going to be challenged potentially. And the insurance companies and their defense teams have methods that we teach the doctors to see. But I just finishing a case right now with over 1,400 pages of records. One of the things I do is I review legal cases. And so often the doctor's work looks the same day by day, says the same thing day by day, and that comes under attack. and we're getting paid well through the PIP or the med pay or the settlement of a case, we need to do quality work and communicate things and not treat every day as a cookie cutter or same as yesterday. At the same time, in chiropractic, we have a challenge that we're challenged all the time for our treatment, but no other health industry is challenged like this. Um, Doctors that give pills aren't questioned every pill about how that patient's feeling that day. And our hands are our treatment. So we're somehow put into a different, like, round peg in a square hole, but we can work well in that if we know what to do. And so we communicate those things to do so that you can communicate what happens, because words are everything in a PI case. Definitions are everything. And the winning and losing of PI cases can be based on the definitions and the words. We teach you those words, we teach you those terminologies, we give you the references of where they come from, and we also teach you how to attack, for example, defense medical doctors that aren't there for the patient. They're paid to say whatever they need to say by the insurance company. And we take their work apart, meaning I teach the doctors how to do it, and then that brings that quality and caliber of that doctor's eyes up in this unfair world. And so we can do a great job, and we're so lucky to be chiropractors in today's world, because so many opportunities are there for us. And in PI, the sky's the limit. We can do whatever we want to do in it.
Well, I get to have a little privilege that I get to see some of the biggest practices in the world, and especially in the United States. I get to see what works, what doesn't work. And when it comes to personal injury, your students, the certified doctors tend to be on top of that list, primarily because they're doing it right. Many times as a chiropractor, as I'm doing my notes, one of the biggest challenges we had, and many of us know about Medicare and how we score the lowest of any provider when it comes to documentation. And it's embarrassing a little bit. And I laugh, sadly, I laugh like that because I expect more from all of us in our profession. But what I've noticed when I talk to chiropractors is the fact that the only reason they do that is because they don't know any better. They assume that nobody may be reading those notes as carefully as they do. They don't also understand that insurance companies may want to use any excuse possible to delay or not pay. Also, they don't understand that we are going through scrutiny in which they are looking at us with a different filter than medical providers. So we have to really be in our game. But when we do the things that you teach us, it seems to work extremely well. We get paid on time. Our cases get closed properly. The attorneys tend to thank us for keeping such great documentation and protocols in taking care of that case from beginning to end, referencing the services and how you teach us to do so. And that's why, this personal injury summit, that was my first time to actually attend. I've been a big fan of Dr. Shetling for a while, but attending there, watching the caliber of speakers that came, but also the quality of individual attendees. Everybody was there with one purpose in mind. I even saw in the audience attorneys that were there because they wanted to understand how to work better with chiropractors. I saw insurance companies that were there because they wanted to understand what is it that they're missing? Why is it that they don't understand how to properly communicate with that chiropractor? So I know, listen, if you're listening right now, I want you to mark in your calendars, March 15th through the 17th, Salt Lake City, Utah, the Personal Injury Summit. I know Dr. Jeffrey States is going to be there teaching you once again how to do this properly. And I want you to join us. I want you to make a commitment to yourself. If you are doing PI, or if you're thinking about doing PI in your practice, I encourage you to do it well. If you attend this one seminar, you're going to get about 80 or 90% of what you need to know in this one event. And I know that you'll be thanking me for it. So Dr. States, any last minute words of why somebody should really consider coming to this event?
Yes, you hit the nail on the head. It's been my theory throughout the creation of our company since 1996 that if the doctors can do a better job, the attorneys will have more to work with, which will in turn help the patients, which provides more money, which means we're more likely to be paid, the patient's more likely to get more money, and the attorney does well. It's very important that we understand what our responsibilities are, and to add to that, quality effort. Our documentation is critical because we have beautiful offices, and yet the people that are paying these bills never see the office. So we have to look good on paper. That creates higher quality work. That quality work turns into better outcomes and it's more fair settlements. So be at this seminar. They put a great program together for everybody. It is the best PI seminar out there. So go and be there and learn from all these greats.
Well, you heard it right here. I hope and encourage you to please, I'm going to put the link right here. Just click there, register for this event, and I look forward to seeing you there. More importantly, I look forward you to becoming the chiropractor that I know you're meant to be. And I'm telling you, having one of the greatest teachers that we have in chiropractor, Dr. Jeffrey States, is a treat to experience him. So don't miss this opportunity. And Jeffrey, thank you so much again for being so kind, making the time to have this interview and giving us really the information that we need to do, that we need to know in order to be the best chiropractor when it comes to personal injury cases.